Well, 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 Dans. Another day, another dollar, and there are 365 days in a year, so that's $365, which is only a very small fraction of the revenue that my very own show, Interviewing Dan Rosensweet with Dan Rosensweet, pulls in on a seasonally basis. And now, where we are, is of course, culture shock. Culture shock. How do we feel about culture shock?
It's culture, it's shocking.
Culture and shocking. Two words that I don't think could better describe an event like culture shock. Now, why am I here? Well, I'm here because, frankly, I need content, or else I can't keep pulling in the big bucks, you see. But the other reason I'm here is because, sometimes, I like to talk to people. I like them to talk to me. I like them to ask me questions. And one question that was asked was, how do you think you could make the show better? The show, of course, being Interviewing Dan Rosensweet with Dan Rosensweet. And what I answered was nothing. The only thing that could make the show better is if I were to clone myself and have me on as a guest every week. I think that's the only thing truly that could make the show better. And then they so rudely offered a response to my answer, not how that's supposed to work, but they did. And what they said was, I think your show needs a MacGuffin. A MacGuffin, they said. I don't know what a MacGuffin is, but you know what? I intend to find one. And what better place to find a MacGuffin than in this cultural festival that is the Culture Shock. So I would be culture shocked if I couldn't find what I'm looking for here. Stay with me.
Okay.
Thank you. See, I love a helpful Dan, and this was actually an experiment I conducted to see if I gave my tie out to the general public, if I would get it back, and of course I did. So I'm going to tie this, and then that's that. I'm just going to tie a tie. But you can watch me. I can't think of anything more fascinating than watching Dan go through his tie tying process. So what you want to do, of course, when you're tying a tie, almost nothing. Okay. Oh wow! Look at that. Got it on the first try, Dan. That's the motto here at Interviewing Dan Rosensweet. Dan Rosensweet. It's Interviewing Dan Rosensweet with Dan Rosensweet. We got it on the first try. That is the full title of this show. But good. Okay, so you can cut that now. Hello, Dan. So I'm continuing my quest for the fabled MacGuffin, and I'm here with Purchase student.
I'm Liam Connors.
That's fine. So I'm here with Lenny, and we're going to talk about the MacGuffin. Do you know what the MacGuffin is?
I have no clue what the MacGuffin is.
Well, neither do I. Do you want to give it a guess?
Is he like a relative of McGuff, the crime dog?
Are you like the Gethard?
McGuff the crime dog. I don't know. Is that a criminal dog?
Of some sort, yes. He fights crime. Sort of like Scooby-Doo, but not quite as cool.
Oh, he fights crime.
Sort of. Yes.
So a vigilante, kind of.
Yes, of sorts. Yes.
Okay, and he's a dog.
And he's a dog.
No, I was actually.
How does that go for him?
I actually don't really know. I think he's a comic book. So I haven't.
He is a comic book.
He is a comic book. He's in a comic book.
You're not making any sense. You realize that?
I know.
Well, so do I.
I'm very hungry. I think I'm losing my marbles slightly.
Well, what is it? What, are we going to eat the marbles? What's the problem?
I'm waiting for a falafel sandwich.
Ah, falafel sandwich. What? From this Ramat halal food here at Culture Shock. Well, you know what? Since you clearly have nothing to offer on the subject of MacGuffins, how are you feeling about this falafel cart?
I'm feeling very great about it, honestly. I've seen them in the city a lot, and I'm glad they've come here to purchase. It's very moving.
The city? Do you mean the city of SUNY Purchase?
I mean the city of New York.
As in New York City?
Yes.
Just to be clear.
There are many cities. I should have been more clear.
You really should have been. Do you want to take a second to deal with that?
I might.
All right. Well, okay. So is that all? So it's going to be great?
It's going to be a delicious falafel sandwich, I think.
What would you do if it isn't great?
Stomp on it.
Stomp on the falafel?
Throw a fit. Yeah, throw a fit.
Throw a fit?
Yeah.
How would that advance your life in any way?
No way, shape, or form. Just and make me feel a little bit better about myself. Maybe for like a few seconds at a time. Like just a little bit better about myself.
Well, that's important. Do you have a question for me?
How is being Morrissey?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you ever had a falafel sandwich?
No.
How do you choose your ties every day?
We're just going to move right along. The MacGuffin's not going to find itself. Thank you for nothing. You know.
Good luck with your MacGuffin quest.
Thank you, and I hope to see you stomping on mush chickpeas at some point later in the evening.
Right on.
Right on the falafel. Well, Dan's, sorry for this fruitless venture. I'll stay with me, and maybe we'll find what we're looking for.
Hopefully you do. You will.
Well, if what we were looking for was falafel, then we'd have it.
Yes, because it's here.
Yeah, it sure is.
Sure is.
Do any of you know what a MacGuffin is? Anyone? That wasn't helpful. This is useless. I'm never gonna find it. Never gonna find the MacGuffin. Excuse me. I saw you looking at me. Now this is happening. Do you know where I can find a MacGuffin?
In the PAC.
In the PAC. All right. Well, that'll be my next stop then.
Yeah.
Are you just trying to get me out of culture shock?
No. I like your pin, so no.
Thank you. Okay, that's good. Well, good then. So how's the shock so far?
Good. I didn't throw up.
That's important.
Yes.
Is that due to the rides, or is that just a general thing you do?
The rides.
Okay. Sure.
Sure.
I believe you. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know.
Do you have an answer for that?
No.
All right. Good. Okay. This is going great. We need to do. This is how things should work. Wait. Do you have any questions for me?
What are you looking for?
A MacGuffin.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay, well then, the PAC has lots of that nobody knows about, so...
The PAC, that's the Performing Arts Center at SUNY Burgess College, which is where we are, which is where Culture Shock is. How exciting is that? There's stuff going on over there, and there's stuff going on over here. And we're all having fun together.
True. All right.
I'm here at the Bouncy Castle to find out if maybe I can find the answer to what a MacGuffin is here. It's a castle. Castles hold a lot of secrets. This castle, of course, has been here for many years. Hey, excuse me.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, what are your names?
Brian.
Matthew.
Love it. Don't change a thing. Okay, listen, sure. I'm on a quest.
Okay.
I figured I'd come to the castle because that's where quests happen.
Usually.
What?
Do you have a sword for your quest?
No, I don't need a sword. I need this. This microphone. This is my sword.
That's your sword?
Okay. Mightier than the sword.
True.
Well, in this case, the microphone is mightier than the sword, but we don't need to split hairs like that.
Okay.
But I do have a pen also. I'm fully armed.
Prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, I wanted to ask you all. Oh, please.
Larry.
Larry. Okay, so we got
Brian.
Matthew.
Larry.
Great. Good. Brian, Matthew, Larry. You're all one now.
Yeah.
And I want to know, do any of you know where I can find a MacGuffin?
A MacGuffin.
That was, you see how you all did that? I was right on point.
That sounds like you could buy that at McDonald's.
So you're thinking McDonald's?
That's the new thing on the dollar menu, right?
Probably. Yeah.
All right, well, here's the thing. I can't leave the Culture Shock grounds. People are trying to send me all over the place. I want to believe that what I need is on the Culture Shock grounds. Now, in your opinion, well, here's the first thing. What do you think a MacGuffin might be? So you're thinking a sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe...
It kind of sounds like a McMuffin, though.
Yes.
McGuffin.
Well, it's still kind of a sandwich.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It can be a sandwich.
Exactly. What's something that just McDonald's made? It's, you know.
In lieu of a McDonald's not being here, where would you suggest
That's disappointing.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, I guess someone will keep that in mind.
All the way over there, they might. I don't know if they have McGuffins. They have beer. Not sure if they have McGuffins though.
Well, of course, MacGuffin seems to come from some sort of perhaps Irish or Scottish influence.
Yeah.
Both cultures who enjoy their beer.
This is very true. That might be where you want to go look.
Thank you so much. Now, before I go, do you have any questions for me?
Who are you?
I am Dan Rosensweet of Interviewing Dan Rosensweet with Dan Rosensweet. Nice to meet all of you. Oh, you have?
I think I've actually seen your show.
You've seen my show?
Yes. Multiple times.
What do we think? Ray Chalmé, word about Quad is that you had a lot to do with this here Culture Shock Festival in the past.
I actually, I booked the last year's festival. My greatest contribution to this school's environment was the meme rap aficionado, Lil B, the Based God. He follows me on Twitter. I follow him. It's a very mutually beneficial. Shouts out to Megna Snackowitz, the Lord of the Student Center last year. Absolutely killed it in every shape, way, and form. Albie's not too bad either. I got to shout out literally everyone I walk by. Over there, we pan over to that youngster. Bruce Hamilton is a fresh face. You're going to be seeing a lot of him in the coming years.
Well, now let's all get in here together, because I have a very important question for you. Now, you were able to find the Based God.
Yes, it was after much deliberation and literally, and this is not, I'm not hamming it up for the camera. I think 7 months of emailing back and forth with the agent to get that price that we managed to book young B, the Based Man.
So you seem like a real entertainment detective.
You could say I'm more of a entertainment samurai cop.
And as an entertainment samurai cop, I have a very important question for you, because I'm on a mission.
Okay.
I'm on a mission to find something called the MacGuffin.
Oh boy, I took a film class once, and they told us that on the waterfront, Marlon Brando's character puts on a glove to show that he's sensitive.
So I should put on a glove to find the MacGuffin.
I think that's exactly what you need to do.
All right. Well, see, now I don't have any clear idea of what the MacGuffin is. I've been picking up clues so far in these talks, but I figured you might have a clearer idea.
Yeah, we were actually talking about it over there by the red sculpture, which the camera will now... Oh, fantastic. Right behind
He's
those
good that way.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier about McDonald's recently signing a partnership deal with the influential noise hip-hop band Death Grips, who are performing tonight's Secret Set, by the way. Look out for that. They didn't buy it. Yeah, and they signed an endorsement deal with the lead singer of that group, Mick Ride. And I think the McGuffin is another marketing ploy of theirs, similar to, McNopoly, where you tear the little tabs off of your drinks and potentially win grand prizes totaling, but not equivalent to $255,000.
Well, now this sounds very complicated, and there's a car coming. So quickly, Bruce, what do you make of all this?
Life is fleeting.
Good. So in that case, the MacGuffin, you might say, would be located in such where?
It's in Thomas Schwartz's chest cavity. You have to fight him and gut him in order to truly find what you're looking for.
You've been a tremendous help, and I appreciate you very much. Well, all right. So now, okay. So we're at main stage. That's what that is. That. And I'm here at main stage because I feel like this is kind of the center of this festival, and I thought I'd go here to find what I'm looking for. Do you know what I'm looking for?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a MacGuffin.
What is a MacGuffin?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either.
What size MacGuffin?
What's that?
What size MacGuffin?
Any size will do. One size fits all, preferably.
I haven't seen any around here.
It's my mom. Evan is my mom. Evan's been the MacGuffin.
So this is your mom, and this is the MacGuffin.
I guess you found me.
I'm struggling to believe you.
Believe it.
I don't
Better believe it.
She's never lied to me before.
Well, here's what it is, okay? So I have a show here. This is what you're on right now, and I was told my show would be better if I had a MacGuffin. Do you think you could make my show better?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to hope so.
Well, would you? Okay. Well, let's start with this. How's the culture shock treating you?
Very well.
Good.
I haven't been here very long, but I'm enjoying myself.
Oh, good. And yeah.
We had a little trouble finding wristbands, but we got them now.
But you got him. And was that the biggest problem?
Yep.
That seems like a pretty good biggest problem.
This has been a better day than we would have had where we came from.
And you came from?
Troy, New York.
Troy, New York. Where? Why?
That's where we go to school.
Which is?
RPI.
How does this compare?
People are happier here.
Aha! Ha ha ha! Got him.
Seem to be enjoying. Yes, it's flatter. We don't have to walk up a big hill to get downtown, or down a big hill. Right?
We are known for our lack of hills. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on here. Wait, I'm sorry. How rude of me. What are all your names?
I'm Evan.
Bernard.
I'm Bree.
Well, nice to meet all of you. Now, it's a shame that I feel like this MacGuffin search is going as a kind of more of a wild goose search. Would you say?
A wild MacGuffin search.
Well, that's what it's been for me.
I wish you luck.
Well, thank you. But you know what? I don't want to just... You tried very hard, and I appreciate that. But do you have any... Now, here's the thing. Do you have any questions for me?
Let me matriculate on it. I'll pass it over.
Why are you at Culture Shock?
Because I have to be as a part of my contract.
Oh.
And because it's great.
Is the MacGuffin a part of your contract?
Well, it is now. I was told that it now is. By me. I write my contracts. I've given myself a lot of hard work to do, which I think we can all appreciate as hard-working people.
It's true, but it also seems like you have a good person to negotiate with if you need to make any changes.
Well, no, that's right, and I actually have to call myself in a few minutes to deal with some of that.
I'm assuming it's MacGuffin related.
It's absolutely MacGuffin related. We're focusing I mean me and all the other me's, are focusing all our attentions right now on this MacGuffin, and a little bit on all of you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any closing words about this lovely festival or this alleged MacGuffin?
I think you should keep your search wild and true, and otherwise just stick to your passions.
Follow your dreams.
Keep your ear to what the streets are saying.
Keep your ear to the streets.
Don't get arrested.
Okay. What if I got arrested in my dream?
Out of my hands.
Fair enough.
If that's your dream.
I hope you're having a wonderful culture shock.
He might know where a MacGuffin is.
Just gonna throw
I trust anyone with a microphone except for myself.
Broad City.
All right, listen. Thank you so much. We're gonna, I guess, do this now. But thank you, and we'll be here. Hello, Dan. Stan Rosensweet here. I'm here with Chris Gethard and a rockin' backbeat. This is great. Chris Gethard, thank you so much for being here.
Please, it's my pleasure.
Oh, and mine as well. And okay, so first of all, right off the bat, I just have to say I was very impressed by your set.
Thanks.
Very funny, very wonderful. I was particularly impressed with your ability to do the animal thing,
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
which you said you hadn't done in a while.
Yeah, I don't always do it, but this crowd seemed like they might be a good crowd for that.
I think you found your market.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
If you're ever feeling like you need to dust off the animal routine, you know where to come now.
SUNY Purchase.
Exactly.
SUNY Purchase enjoys references to animals.
And anything else, really.
Yeah, they like to cheer and woo.
Oh, we love it.
Big time wooing.
Big wooing school.
Yes.
And so I wanted to ask you, since you do have this unique talent, I wanted to ask if perhaps first you can tell me, like, what kind of animal do you think you would be, and what do you think your appeal is as that animal?
I think a squirrel, because unassuming but surprisingly versatile.
Fair enough. That seems completely fair.
Yeah.
And would you say you're nuts?
That drum could not have been more well timed.
We can just leave it there.
Yeah.
And okay, so now, if I may be so bold, what kind of animal would you say I might be? Just based on this 2 minutes we've been talking.
Let's see. Your hair is very distinct. You're tall. I would go ahead and say, oh, you might be like a cockatiel.
And would you hang out with a cockatiel, Chris Gethard?
For a limited amount of time.
Why?
No offense to you.
Okay.
The sense I get is that a cockatiel is fun for a while, but gets a little grating after a while.
Well, that is your opinion.
Yeah.
Mine is vastly different.
Okay.
Mine is much more positive.
Yeah. That's totally everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah.
Okay, good. And well, good. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, on to the next thing.
Okay.
So you, I've heard, are really into music.
I do enjoy music. Yes.
Yeah, and music of what sorts in particular?
Punk rock and the Smiths. I'm obsessed with the Smiths.
That is so exciting to hear. And now I want to ask, so music and comedy. There's been a lot of speculation about the relationship between music and comedy.
Yeah.
And I, as a comedian myself, I'm interested in what you think comedy can learn from music and vice versa.
Well, music is a cool thing, and comedy is not very cool. So comedy can try to maybe learn from that. And then I also think business-wise, a lot of comedians figure out places where they can go and be appreciated by those who like the arts in music venues, and sometimes that's a nicer environment than a comedy club. And then musicians can learn from comedians how to stay in hotels and not have to sleep on like bed-bug infested punk house couches. That's a thing.
So that's a good trade.
I think it would be a good trade if they like maybe lived a little bit more high on the hog like we do, and we made an effort to not be big dorks all the time, and we're cool like they are. I think it could meet in the middle in a real nice way.
Well, and what do you think about that classic Sam Kinison quote that I'm about to paraphrase, where he basically said that I think that comedians are just failed rock stars?
I think that's totally true. If I could play bass even marginally well, I'd never tell another joke again in my life.
Can you say that into the eye of the camera so I know you're telling the truth?
If I could play bass even marginally well, I'd never tell another joke in my life. I'd never tell another joke in my life. A joke in my life.
I'd never tell another joke in my life.
Well, because I've heard people say things like that, but that seems like a very bold statement. Your comedy is so good. Why do you feel that way?
Because comedy's really lonely and desperate.
Okay, that seems fair. I never tend to get that way. I have myself, and what more do you need?
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't bring the heat like you bring the heat, though.
Well, you know, we all have our talents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, but I am curious though. What genre would you say your comedy is then? Maybe musically or otherwise.
Like comparing it to a genre or a genre of comedy, like storytelling comedy.
Right, but comparing
it, making an analogy to music.
I don't mean to do another analogy question, but it just fits for me.
Emo all day. I would be emo.
I guess I do get that.
Like a little bit more like here's some feelings and some experiences about my past. It's emo.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That seems fair and clean. Now, my last question. So I heard recently that you're in some time going to have a marriage on your show.
We might do that, yeah.
So that sounds very cool. Now, what was the impetus for that?
It seemed like a thing that you shouldn't do, so we figured we would do it. Seems like a real disaster where you can give someone a bad experience relating to a major life moment. So I was like, that seems like a good idea.
Great. And so my final question on that note is, now, do you think, how would you feel, what would you say if I were to have a marriage on my show where I got married to myself?
Logistically, I don't know how that would work.
Well, no, I mean, we just say our vows and say our I do's and exchange rings. Have a ring on each finger.
I would watch that.
Would you?
I would watch it.
Is that a promise?
No.
Oh!
I might watch it.
Fair enough.
Send me a link to it. I'd probably watch some of it at least, maybe all of it.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to search for it. That seems to be too bad.
Okay.
Well, good. Okay, I'm glad we had this exchange.
Yeah, I think we landed in a real healthy place.
Oh yeah, no, and Chris, I really do appreciate it. The set was wonderful, and I'm so glad you're here.
I had a good time. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for coming here. And one last thing. Chris, you seem very wise and very smart, and I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you know where I could find a MacGuffin?
No.
All right, thank you. I had to ask. What are you going to do? But that's been Chris Gethard, and I've been Dan Rosensweet, and we've been here together. How cool is that? Thank you so much.
It's a God's wood.
No, but remember the road, the heart tree. Remember the road kind of wood. Where's the heart tree?
Well, Dan, so Culture Shock is over. I've been out here all night. I helped them pack things up. I helped them put things in the vans. And in that time, I also searched through all of the vehicles and all of their haul. And couldn't find MacGuffin. Kept asking, kept talking to people. You know, I had a few interviews there. I must have done hundreds. I boiled it down to that many for you. And ultimately, I don't know if I'm ever going to find one. Okay. You don't happen to know where I can find a MacGuffin, do you?
A MacGuffin.
Oh. Wait, come back. I don't think we needed the pan over.